Imagine a time when Japan wasn't even Japan, just a rugged archipelago covered in dense forests and teeming with wildlife. Thousands of years before samurai and tea ceremonies, the Jomon people carved out a unique way of life. With their intricate pottery and deep connection to nature, they laid the groundwork for Japan's cultural identity. But how did they thrive in such an untamed world? And what mysteries did they leave behind? Stick around to uncover the secrets of Japan's Stone Age pioneers. Before we dive in, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification so you never miss a journey through history. The Jomon story re-emerged in the 19th century, thanks to Edward S. Morse, an American zoologist turned accidental archaeologist who coined the term Jomon, meaning cord-marked. With over 10,000 years of pottery evolution, historians divided the Jomon period into 6 sub-periods based on ceramics alone. These ancient artisans weren't just creating pots, they were shaping history. Japanese archaeologists have been obsessed with Jomon pottery for over 150 years, analyzing it to build a detailed timeline of prehistoric Japan. Yamanouchi, a trailblazing pottery detective in the 1930s, meticulously organized styles and periods, laying the groundwork for today's detailed classifications. Modern researchers continue to subdivide and categorize Jomon pottery, turning it into the ultimate archaeological deep dive. It's like organizing a wardrobe into micro-categories, but instead of outfits, it's 10,000 years of ceramic brilliance. The Jomon period was Japan's first big cultural leap. These early innovators decided living in dirt holes wasn't cutting it and started making life a bit more creative. Their masterpiece? Pottery, specifically cord-marked pottery. They pressed ropes into wet clay to create intricate patterns. Japan was way ahead of the game in ceramics. While others were still mastering fire, the Jomon were crafting tiny pots during the incipient Jomon phase, likely used for special meals, prehistoric Michelin star style. But around 11,500 years ago, global temperatures warmed. Thanks, Holocene. Forests flourished and coastal areas expanded. Suddenly, pottery production exploded, and pots became essential for storing and cooking a growing menu of shellfish, nuts, and forest treats. By the early Jomon period, pottery evolved into larger, more versatile forms, perfectly timed for seasonal fish feasts. These pots weren't just tools, they were social glue, helping communities bond over hearty meals. Despite innovations in tools for grinding and hunting, the Jomon stayed true to their seafood-filled pots, turning fish soups into a long-standing tradition. As pottery spread beyond Japan into northern Eurasia and Alaska, it became the influencer of its time, shaping how early humans stored and prepared food. Around 5,000 years ago, the Morioso phase spiced things up with trendy, widely distributed pottery. Think of Morioso-style pots as the Louis Vuitton bags of the Jomon era, found everywhere from big villages to hidden rock shelters. Interestingly, Morioso pots traveled far from their origins, leading archaeologists to speculate about migration or trade networks. About 20 to 30% of Morioso pottery at each site came from other regions, suggesting these pots were the ancient equivalent of eBay trades or even dowry gifts. Whether for transporting goods or impressing future in-laws, these pots were more than just containers. They were the backbone of a bustling prehistoric economy. As time marched on, the Jomon culture leveled up. By the Middle Jomon period, around 2500 BCE, their pottery hit peak artistry, with dramatic handles and intricate raised patterns that wouldn't look out of place in a modern art museum. Over this period, about 70 distinct ceramic styles emerged because apparently ancient Japan loved reinventing dishware as much as we love redesigning smartphones. Regions developed unique pottery identities. In Hokkaido, the diet centered on salmon and deer, making it a paleo lover's paradise. Over in Western Japan, sweet acorns made snacking easy, while in the East, bitter acorns required tannin-removing culinary wizardry. Some regions became pottery trendsetters. Niigata, for instance, perfected importing styles before debuting their iconic flame-rimmed pottery, an Instagram-worthy sensation of its time. But like all trends, its popularity fizzled, leaving long-standing powerhouses like Kanto to dominate the ceramic scene. The Jomon people were masters of their environment, thriving without agriculture by hunting, fishing, and foraging. Their menu featured nuts, roots, and plenty of fish. No surprise, given their island home. They lived in pit dwellings, shallow dugouts with roofs arranged in horseshoe-shaped villages. Functional and earthy, these homes fostered close-knit communities, complete with communal spaces, ideal for sharing foraging tips or showing off the latest pottery designs. Life for the Jomon was like a year-round nature buffet. They didn't need to move around like other nomadic groups because the land generously provided seasonal abundance. Forests, rivers, and the sea gave them everything they needed, a prehistoric, all-inclusive deal. With deer and boars practically managed like farm animals, even moved to new islands, the Jomon had a knack for keeping their favorite food sources close. Why didn't agriculture catch on with the Jomon? Simple. They didn't need it. These environmental artists shaped their landscapes to encourage growth without plowing or planting. In some areas, they even experimented with oyster cultivation. Think of it as a prehistoric seaside pop-up. Efficiently managing wild food sources, they found balance in nature. While they dabbled with early crops like yams and taro, the full-on farming lifestyle wasn't their vibe. It wasn't until the Yayoi period and the arrival of wet rice farming that agriculture became Japan's big thing, ushering out the Jomon way of life. The Jomon weren't just practical, they had style. Early pioneers of body ornamentation, they crafted bracelets from seashells, earrings from stone, and necklaces from bone and horn. Avant-garde, right? And their dental trends were bold. Rites of passage often involved sharpening or extracting teeth. Imagine a Jomon teenager declaring, "Hey mom, I'm getting my teeth sharpened today." Socially, they were pretty chill. No kings or emperors here, just villagers likely led by shamans or headmen, the wise ones who knew how to work a flintstone better than anyone else. In Jomon society, life was about harmony, creativity, and living in sync with nature. The religious life of the Jomon period is shrouded in mystery, but certain practices stand out. Clay figurines, particularly female ones, symbolized fertility and likely served as spiritual good luck charms. For the deceased, burials were kept simple. Shallow pits, knees drawn up, and sometimes a stone placed on the chest, possibly for magical or religious purposes. By the final Jomon period, rituals became more elaborate. Craftsmanship flourished, with masks, stone circles, and quirky tools, like banana-shaped ones, appearing across regions. In Kyushu, the focus on clay figurines may have been an artistic last stand against the cultural wave of rice farming sweeping in. Northern Japan's Kamegaoka culture left behind enigmatic ceramics that continue to baffle archaeologists. Tooth ablation rituals, where teeth were filed into fork-like shapes, also became a regional fashion statement. As the climate changed and foreign influences arrived, Japan's East and West diverged culturally. The East embraced ritual artifacts and spiritual flair, while the West focused on practical pottery, a prehistoric tale of two Japans. Then came rice farming, spreading from Kyushu to Niigata and transforming society. The Rice Revolution introduced new pottery styles and even revived some Jomon traditions, blending old with new. By 300 BCE, the Jomon period transitioned into the Yayoi era, bringing rice farming, iron tools, and greater societal organization. But let's pause to celebrate the Jomon people. The original DIYers who mastered pottery, curated their environment, and laid the creative groundwork for Japan's future. As we wrap up our journey through the Jomon period, an era bursting with creativity and culinary ingenuity, let's dive into some must-visit spots where you can experience this remarkable time firsthand. Who wouldn't want to walk in the footsteps of ancient potters and uncover the stories behind those iconic cord-marked pots? Start in Aomori Prefecture at the Sanai Maruyama site, the ultimate Jomon HQ. This well-preserved settlement lets you explore reconstructed houses, admire ancient artifacts, and learn about their love for shell jewelry. It's like stepping into a prehistoric village. Bonus points for the gift shop. Next, head to Yamanashi Prefecture and check out the Isawa Archaeological Park, home to thousands of Jomon pottery pieces. Here, you can marvel at cord-marked pots while soaking in Yamanashi's stunning natural beauty. Finally, in Niigata Prefecture, visit the Sasayama Jomon site and explore a 5,000-year-old village. Don't miss the reconstructed Jomon-style pit house. It's like a prehistoric hobbit hole come to life. Though the Jomon era has long passed, its impact on Japan's history remains undeniable. While we may never know exactly what inspired them to press cords into clay, one thing's certain: their creativity left a lasting mark, one artistic pot at a time. Before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification so you never miss a journey through history. We'll see you in the next one.